You are listening to In Response, a legacy podcast. A show where three handsome guys talk about their favorite Magic the Gathering format, Legacy. This show is brought to you by createness@anycost.com and austrian-legacy.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/response_legacy. And now, lean back and enjoy.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 35th episode, Izzet Dominant of
In Response,
a legacy podcast.
I'm Philipp Klein
I am Daniel.
And I'm Peter Plank.
and we're talking about legacy.
Most of the time.
Oh yeah, and this time we're talking really much about legacy, I hope.
Sure, why not? I mean, that's why we are here.
I think it was a little bit of a running gag that we
Didn't talk about legacy?
Yeah.
You mean? Okay. I mean, is it really a running gag?
Is it really a joke?
Yeah. Nobody
Is
knows.
it dominance?
okay, no, we're going really far off it.
Okay.
What I wanted to say was that I don't want to stress this any further, but we're back again.
We're back again, yeah.
for the fifth time in a row. I think.
Yeah.
It certainly looks like it. But what happened? We have all got COVID in a little bit of time.
Every second week, somebody of us
Yeah, but
got COVID.
pretty much alternating.
Yeah.
It feels like a reunion 3.0, something like this. Yeah.
Definitely, it was just such a shitty experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Peter and you, Phil, kind of overlapped each other a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
But still, it felt like over, I don't know, 1 or 2 months actually, since the last time. It was pretty much 2 months, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, we had the podcast in between, but
True.
But I think you were sick with COVID there.
yeah, I was sick with COVID.
I'm sick of it.
And was recording with Nathan Gola, the podcast number 3.
And how did it went?
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, the listens aren't that high, but that's.
I mean, it's kind of a niche topic of magic, even.
Brewing is always a niche topic. I mean, it's easier to get a lot of listens when you're talking about tier decks and
Like
being
Painter.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Painter nowadays is a tier deck.
It's really great, yeah. It's definitely easier, but I think we had a lot of fun and it was a really great talk, and it was nice to have him as the first American on the cast.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. Because
Awesome.
every other are Europeans. And
Kai is
Kai is kind
half
of...
a Europeans.
Yeah, for sure. And now, again...
A European.
Full
yeah.
European.
full European, basically, yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool, and
He also seemed like a really nice dude.
yeah, he's really cool.
I mean, from what I have heard from the podcast, because I didn't know him all that much. You mentioned, Phil, to myself that he was one of the co-hosts of
Eternal Turtles.
Eternal Turtles, yeah. But he quit. He quit for some time.
I think half a year or 8 months
half a year,
or
okay.
a year now.
Was he the one that went on to travel for a few months?
I'm not sure.
To go for a hike along? Something on the line?
You're asking the real deep questions.
I think it was something like that back in the days, if I remember it correctly.
I'm not sure now, actually.
But yeah, he was the one that always had the crazy brews on
Yeah.
there that they discussed. And because of that, it was basically a perfect fit, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're back. And we talk today about a little bit of private stuff. At first, I mean, it was...
Why don't you go on? Because you had the podcast going. What did you else do privately?
Okay, you mean with the... Okay, I totally...
What were your
haven't-
activities in the last time, Philipp?
Yeah, I mean, you just can continue with your...
Yeah, okay. So
story.
then I will continue. After I was recording the podcast, I played in the Legacy Challenge with my trusty old Burning Phoenix. And I got... I'm not sure if it's a dream, but I was
Published.
Yeah, I was
Really? That's cool.
24th or 25th in the Legacy Challenge. Unfortunately, didn't get to semi-spice or full spice, what I really thought was a little bit strange, because
I mean, Phoenix is a deck that pops up here and there sometimes.
yeah, but always with Delver and Force of Wills and more in mid-range style, and with Burning Wish and a full-out combo plan and reanimate in the sideboard. Yeah, it was a little bit strange.
Could be at least semi-spice, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of...
Disappointment.
yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. But
Anyways, but 25 of how many people?
64.
That's
It
nice.
was kind of okay.
That's okay, yeah.
It was my goal to get published, so I made my goal, and that's great. And in the same weekend, I made my first 5-0 ever. I had my first MTGO trophy with Oops All Spells.
Did you know if this got published?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get published,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I was very proud of myself, and it was a little bit funny because I tried a league with Phoenix, went 3-2. I tried a league with Burn, went 3-2, and then just fuck it. I want to try Oops All Spells, and then instant 5-0.
Yeah, the deck is really, really good currently.
And what was the real nice thing about the deck is the whole league was over in
40 minutes?
Nah, it was 70 minutes because I never played the deck before.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a really, really good
1 hour
grinding
and
deck.
10 minutes for a whole league is
Yeah.
nothing. It was just so extremely fast. I can totally recommend this, and I will probably build it in paper because the play patterns were really interesting. Although I can see that this maybe get repetitive.
I mean, I know this because Nathan Lippert likes to play this deck quite a bit, and he also says that it's for sure a good combo deck right now, but it kind of feels like you're just doing the same thing all over again at some point. I mean, at the beginning, I think it's quite interesting because you get these new lines that the deck offers, which is cool, I think. But I don't know, after 50 games or something like this, I could see that you just get boring.
Yeah, it's probably the same as Reanimate.
Kind
Also
of.
thought after 3 FNMs that it was, it's nice, it's cool, but it's repetitive.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the same will happen with Oops. But I bought Reanimate and I will buy Oops. So.
It overlaps a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like that you have some amount of puzzling around to try to force something through disruption. This is like, I think the real cool thing about the combo decks, because the play patterns are mostly the same because the combo is the same. But the really, really interesting part about playing combo decks is not that the 10 storm tendrils, but
it's the way to get
there. They have a collector oof and this and that out. How do I play this that I can force to my tendrils of agony, for example?
Yeah. And it's basically the same with Dredge or with Hogak or with any other combo deck. How do you beat the hate? And that's what's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked about Oops is your opponents always have some kind of hate and thinking the lines through how to win through that kind or this card and that card.
Yep.
It's just what makes it interesting then. And for our next part, I had the pleasure to play in our weekly Friday Night Magic, in our weekly league tournament, and go to a wonderful 4-0 and win this whole thing for the first time since 2 years or 3 years. I'm not sure actually.
Nice.
It was really far away.
I win once, twice, or 3 times every few months.
No, but, me for sure not. I actually am the, how do you say this? It's the eternal second place.
Okay, so that you're kind of...
You're always the runner.
You have the fate to be always on the second place. Yeah.
My breakers aren't so good to be first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that
Just
happens.
bad karma.
Yeah, probably that happens a lot of the time, and even as the in the whole league, in the standings at the. Today it's a little bit hard with words.
You mean throughout the season?
Throughout the season,
yeah.
Also, my best placing was second.
Mm-hmm. So basically, we have we explained it before. We have a system in our Austrian Legacy League where we collect points throughout the whole year, which is our season, and then we have standings based on that. And you just finished second.
Yeah.
As best. Okay.
As best, and this was back in 2018.
I mean, it's better than me because I think I was, or I'm not sure.
I think you were second.
Well, also,
you were also second.
I thought third, but okay, yeah. Then it was also second, yeah.
But if you look up the website, you don't recognize Daniel on there. So
no, definitely not.
a lot has changed until this.
Glasses and 30 kilograms. Or
I mean, I do
like
have,
that.
I still have the glasses, but I rarely put them on anymore.
Yeah.
For some reason. I mean, I need them for driving and for going to the cinema and watching movies, but for everyday life, I don't really need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what happened in my 3 to 4 weeks now, and in my journey with COVID. And what happened in your life, Daniel?
Basically similar things. I also got to win an FNM. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before you.
Yeah, probably.
And also, Peter, you had a win in between, I think.
Yeah, I won like 2 weeks before, so the weekend before I got stuck with COVID.
I think it was 3 weeks before the last one. Yeah, I won with...
Because you won, then I won, then Phil won, and now Phil won.
Yeah, exactly like this, yeah. So we almost have 3 consecutive weeks, almost like of all of the 3 guys winning the FNM. And I did so with Chess-Guy Control or Daybreacher, however you want to call it. It is basically my new toy I want to play around in Magic, because I'm really sick of our local people hating on me when I'm playing Storm.
Yeah.
It is such a pain in the ass.
Our local meta is so extremely...
Yeah, they hate combo.
Yeah.
And they all they hate.
My sideboard is like 2 Deafening Silence, 2 Ethos 1 Canonist, and a play Ethos 1 Canonist in the main deck. So fuck Storm.
What can I do? I mean,
I'm playing no Stony Silence.
I mean, this is really a problem for me, because I want to play the FNMs to practice. For me, this is an environment where I want to practice my deck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to be able, for example, for Bologna, which we will attend in June, I want then to have my matches and my plan for all the decks that I'm going to face. And the problem is, when you face a turn 2 Thalia all the time and a turn 1 Deafening Silence, and
you're speaking of the match versus Christian,
and of course it is also not really realistic when you're facing against a blue deck.
Yeah,
you are 100% sure that they will keep a Force plus blue card and some other crazy stuff like a Narset that I can't scalp my hand and something like this. This is not really a representative environment where I really can practice my deck, and for this it's not fun. I can't practice, so why I'm doing this?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but an example, McWinsos posted his win record, because I think he won or went second on the showcase challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted that he had like a 47% win percentage with the configuration that he played then.
Yeah.
But I'm confident in locking it in. And then the guy below posted, I went 3 and 18 or 3 and 15 with Modern Affinity before playing the Proto and top-8ing it because I lost the whole time against Stony's Islands.
Yeah.
But the Proto, no one is so dumb and plays Stony's Islands, and he then went to the top 8 there.
That's true.
So, a similar example, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with the local metas because they simply aren't represented.
This is not for the overall meta. So I thought a little bit differently, and I picked up a control deck again, which I'm normally quite bad at because I'm really not a fast player.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really that slow, but I tend to go into extra turns a tad more often than I would like to do. Yeah. And for this, I always have to adjust the control decks, maybe to add a Stoneforge package or something like that to have
the second and treat the angel or something like that.
Yes, I just need these cards to be able to finish the games on time. But with this new iteration of control decks that is running around with Izzet and Days Undoing, you have a pretty fast clock, I would say. And for this, I just focus on this. I really love this deck, and I like that even if my opponent knows I'm on this deck, I have a fair chance because there's not really the silver bullets to my deck. I mean, there's some good cards, some bad cards, but it's not like I'm on Reanimate or on Storm and they have this one...
The hate.
Yeah, the hate, yeah. And control decks, we can just simply control them out anyways. So, and I'm running quite good with this deck. And... which culminated to also an FNM win 3 weeks ago, I think. So probably or most likely this will be also the deck that I might be facing it in Bologna, maybe.
Yeah.
For my part.
Yeah.
Besides this, I did pick up running again. Yesterday I did finish my first ever half marathon.
Whoa!
Nice.
Yes. This was rather insane. I basically standed up in the morning and said, okay, I'm gonna go running, and then I started to run. My goal was like 10-15 kilometers, something like this, and after 5 kilometers it felt really good, and I thought, okay, now I'm gonna push towards the half marathon, and then just I did this. I don't know why and how I did this, but
it was just a fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to do this.
Yep. This was really great accomplishment, but now I can feel it in my legs. For sure. Yeah. This basically also sums up my life at the moment. I don't want to extend it all that long. So, Peter, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, if we're finishing off with sports, I will start with sports. Before getting affected with COVID to completely trifecta, I've started playing hoops. We're together with
the basketball.
Basketball for everyone. What is hoops? It's basketball.
Yeah, it's another word for
the slang term. The slang term from the American.
Hoops or spears.
And I'm really enjoying it.
You're enjoying it?
Yeah, it was quite nice. It's like 1.5 hours.
Is it like I don't know if I would call it correctly, but is it like a street ball version where you all play onto one?
No. We
one
play
basket?
how many are coming, and then we play 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, or 4 versus 4, and something like that.
Okay, but is it you have 2 baskets or one?
We have 2 baskets.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really cool. I'm enjoying it. It's something that I can use my body because I have some height.
Yeah.
And I can use this to bully the small players.
Sure, yeah.
And
how tall are you?
I'm a little bit under 190, so it's a good height.
I mean, for the American listeners, it will be difficult to.
It's 6'2". I have something no like 6 fucking foot 2, idea.
Yeah. I am 6 foot.
No, 6'1". I'm not sure. You have 6 foot.
I'm 6 foot. Yeah.
And
I'm bigger than Bigfoot. I don't know how big Bigfoot is.
I think I'm. You have 6.
I'm 1.86.
You have more than 6. Yeah, you have more than 6, I think.
I think.
How much is a foot? Is it 32?
30.5? 30.54, I think, but I'm not sure. I
just Google this now. I'll put it into my calculator.
So then I fast forward a little bit there. I also won an FNM. I played their red-white paint in my configuration with 4 main deck synthesizer, with 4 welder, 3 engineer, and 3 Oswald fiddlebender. Deck felt really, really great. You can bully blue decks a lot because you generate a lot of card advantage.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool.
So Peter, you're 6'2" and I'm 6'1".
Okay.
Okay.
So we got that one in there. So yeah, the big basketball players are then 6.6 and something like that.
Yeah. I'm
Just
certainly
below
on the
7.
on the lowest end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I couldn't play NBA with this height. It's
No,
just
definitely
way
not.
too. I mean, I think at this height it starts to get good, because you need the not that high guys to play. I think it's not the guard position, because you have the one that always stands below the basket.
I think
and
that's a guard.
puts it in, and then you have the guys that run around. They are normally a little bit smaller.
Yeah, they're basically the not so tall guys.
Then I have some recommendation, because sitting around a lot, having to watch movies and series. So I can really recommend Moneyball. It's a movie about baseball, which was really, really good. Then I can recommend Sully.
This one with Tom Hanks, right?
It's the one with Tom Hanks, and I don't think that Captain Sullenberger could be played with any other guy.
Okay.
It was a perfect role for him. Attack on Titans, really, really good anime series. Can really recommend. And an anime I can really, really, really recommend, because the story is just really, really beautiful, is Ranking of Kings. It's just an amazing storyline, really, really cool. It shows how to live a life, and I think this one would be something that you two could enjoy.
Okay.
Even though it's a little bit on the animated side. I mean, it's an anime, so it's animated, but I think the story is
Legend of
good.
Vox Machina, so maybe.
Yeah, Legend of Vox Machina was also really, really great.
I think at this point we could maybe introduce a little agenda or something like this, where we say Peter's recommendations of this day or something like this, and then you just
I try to do it like that because I
all
always
the time
wasn't in there.
Yeah, you have all the time all your recommendations.
And then we have to do some sound overlays of Peter's recommendations.
A small intro. Yeah, would be kind of cool.
Yeah, and between throw.
Between throw.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because a podcast I'm listening to is always doing. They have a Spotify playlist of songs they like, and at the end of the episode, both of them put a song on the playlist.
Okay. Yeah.
So it almost gets extended with a song they currently like or an artist they like. So they put a song in there, which is kind of a really, really cool idea.
That's really a cool idea.
For sure, yeah.
Maybe we can steal this.
But don't tell anyone.
What should we tell anyone?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. That
Peter's recommendations.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Recommendation of the day.
Yeah.
Peter's recommendation of the day. And Peter's recommendation of this day is to buy some merch.
Woo! We are finally having merch for our listeners.
Yeah.
Although there aren't that many, but it's great.
Yeah. For sure.
We have now, if you want to support us, you can buy In Response merch from our web shop. It's in-response.myspreadshop.de for Germany. DE is Germany.
Yeah.
So you can buy anything from your classical t-shirt to your snapback caps, and that's probably the greatest thing at the moment, mugs.
Yeah.
Mugs for your coffee and to spread the love from In Response.
Nice, yeah. We will, of course, also put the links in our link tree
and in the show notes.
Show notes, of course.
And we will make a huge announcement on Twitter also, but we need a photograph for this.
Yeah.
A little bit of an advertisement photo.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And with merch collected and announced, we can announce that prices are increasing. Which is
not for merch. Not for merch.
Not for merch.
Yeah, this is actually good for me. So
it was a good transition.
Yeah.
Prices are increasing for MTG, for draft.
I think it was published actually this day. Today.
It was today.
Today is the 19th of April. They said that all products they are releasing, basically it's basically the sealed products, of course. They will get an increase of around. It's not the same for every product, but it's evenly. If they make an average, it's about 11% increase of set boosters, draft, collectors, bundles,
and
something like this. Will get expensive, not counting master sets and sets like Modern Horizon, something like this. Also Commander decks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's pretty clear that they have to increase because they only got the single-digit increase in revenue share. So it kind of had to happen. It was only the best-selling set in January by outperforming every other set by 23% and something like that.
Poor CEOs up there.
I mean, we have to say that Kamigawa was a bang of a set from a single standpoint. Apparently, it was really, really good to draft.
Oh my gosh, Kamigawa was so great.
And I think with that, you kind of have to say that it was like a little Innistrad. A little one, because the big bangers are in the Modern Horizon sets.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what's the consequences are not. I mean, maybe prices will get a little bit more expensive, but
singles will get more expensive.
Singles will
and collector items like the foils and the extended art and etched foils and what have they? Yeah.
They will be, of course.
They will definitely get the 10% price tag onto it. Because if the EV of a set is really, really low, because the cards are bad, it won't get opened that much.
Yep.
So that means that the singles are worth more now, because there aren't that many out there. So with an increase in price of the sets, we have to expect to have it a relevance on the singles market, just because the stores have to open the boxes to get the singles out, and the prices will just be an add-on.
But the only thing that's good about this is that reserved list cards aren't affected.
And also what I want to say, because we don't get affected the Modern Horizon set, the next $60 Mythic would also not be affected. So the next...
You think so? I think they will also be affected.
You think like Meat Hook Massacre or something like that?
No. I was talking about like
Meat Hook Massacre is only so expensive because of
for legacy concerns, of course. We had Ren and 6 at $70, something like this, and Ragavan, which both got banned. This was kind of the $60 Mythic of each set.
Yeah, and Forceful is only reprinted in Master Set, so that's kind of good then.
Yeah.
Don't increase with. But you have to think, Forceful Negation is the same thing,
Same thing,
It's also 70 now?
It should be,
but they don't get increased in future, so that's nice.
For legacy, only increase in time because they won't get reprinted that often.
I mean, I find it ridiculous that imprint cards have this extreme of a price tag, but
I mean, you kind of have to. Back in the days, Chase the Mindscope, there was a $100 plus card. Tarmogoyf was a €150 card.
Yeah, it was also insane.
I mean, Tarmogoyf is now a €20 card and something like that, which is kind of the point it needs to be. Stoneforge Mystic nowadays is way too high.
Yeah, it's $40. I mean, what the fuck? I bought mine for $8.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought mine for $60, but only because it was dumb and bought it in the spike day.
Okay, yeah.
And
then you certainly deserve it.
And nowadays I traded it down for some at €10 for the Seneca ones, just because non-foiling your deck is just a way better treatment for a deck.
That's true.
Because you don't have troubles with Pringles, judges. Or you just white body your deck, which is also a great idea.
Which we will put probably a picture on when we are on the road.
Mm-hmm.
To the next big tournament.
Our decks?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you can see this masterwork of Peter in perfection.
It's the only problem with my painted deck nowadays is I have to get 3 other German plateaus black bordered now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only problem
Yeah,
with the deck. The deck looks gorgeous otherwise. Except for synthesizer, because can't you just print a normal card with this effect?
Peter synthesizer rent the third one tonight.
Yeah, the deck is gorgeous, but yeah, synthesizer. And I kind of think that I have to get some German fiddle benders.
Why this?
Because Oswald Fiddlebieger is just a way better name for the card.
Oh, fuck this. This is too ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's basically the same with Pyroblast and Pyroknall.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of versions.
Yeah.
I have blasts. I got altered blasts. Yeah.
I especially traded for the German Pyroblasts, because then I can always say I knall your thing.
I bang a thing because
Yeah.
it's the
Because
Kind of
literally the
translation.
same with banging.
Translation.
Like, yeah.
and yeah.
And I
So
like puns, so that's great.
yeah, that's the reason I like my German standstill, because it's Stillstand, so still stand in German.
Yeah,
So
okay. Kind of, yeah.
It's the same with the Wildner Cuttle.
yeah,
Because the
it's
Wildner
so
Cuttle
expensive.
in German is the
Wilder.
Wilder Nakatl,
Yeah.
and it's basically the Wilder Nakatl.
Yeah.
it's even better.
Or the France version of
delay.
delay, because
yeah.
it's retards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the best version is always the Spanish Inquisition.
Spanish Inquisition, yeah.
They are also so
Yeah.
extremely expensive.
Yeah,
But
Absolutely.
nobody expects it, so
kind of with prices in mind, I think I want to start off with a topic that is a little bit later in our list, and it's the Kickstarter from Tolerating Community College.
True, yeah.
Which
Just
Daniel and I
finished.
are part of.
Yeah.
is it the deck box?
The
that you
deck
have?
box, yes.
So,
I think it is a really great design, and what I really like about this deck box is, for my purposes, because we have an FNM on Fridays, and this is typically a modern event followed by our legacy event. And for me, I have everything that I need in for a typical Friday FNM in one box. Both decks, dice, tokens, whatever, fit inside this deck box, all complete and nice, sealed. And I really like this design for this, because it's just practical. I don't have to.
How big it is?
Something like this. I don't know.
So
Like a
our
foot.
like for our listeners,
It's something like this big.
you take your hands, put it a little bit
Yeah,
away from
a
each
foot.
other, and think about a foot of inches.
Basically, a
That's just so
foot.
dumb.
Yeah,
We certainly have to produce a video for it.
yeah. It's like this big. You know this meme?
Look,
Aliens.
look at your
Yeah.
penis.
And I raised almost $4 million for this project.
Okay,
It's amazing.
You can only get this via Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. It is
Yeah.
funded now. I'm not sure if it will be for sale afterwards.
Maybe you can get into the pledge manager
May-
afterwards without donating
Maybe.
it.
Maybe.
Some Kickstarter do this,
Okay.
but yeah.
But if you want to
Do
join...
you get one? Do you
Yeah.
Kickstarter it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean-
yeah.
I mean, when Daniel will buy those for us,
Yeah.
you can definitely join in there, because if you donate some, you can add one box there,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe it has an increased price. I don't know, because normally if you buy it via the Kickstarter version, you get it for
A little bit discount there.
most of the time a $5-10 discount.
Okay.
It
So
is-
maybe
it is,
we
I
can
think-
add on a third box or something like that.
So a normal box, I think, is...
So you're also in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
We
what have you paid?
It is $45 for the deck box.
Okay,
and
that's okay.
plus shipping. Shipping is also to be paid extra, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
It was 45 per box?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dollars.
Kind of okay. Yeah. It's lower than 40 euros, so.
Yeah.
Okay. I bought
about for 40.
By the way, I bought an Ultra Pro Pokemon wooden deck box, which
this one we see here,
which I kind of like from a design standpoint. It's
very sturdy.
From the
it's very heavy.
From the production there, from the value, it
smells
kind of
like
good. And because it has a dice box included.
Oh, that's nice. Wow.
And it's really, really cool from a production standpoint. And I will use this definitely to use my white bordered burn deck with. So.
And yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it was 30
deck
euros.
box is okay.
And kind of good. So, yeah. But $5 million is just a
$4
million
is really
is still a really, really big thing. I mean, TCC is just the biggest content creator out there, and he has done his rise on evaluating products.
Yep.
And if he recommends a product, you can certainly be sure that it will be good. And if it's not, it's just the biggest damage that can happen to his brand. So he will be for sure out there controlling everything, and everything should be fine.
I mean, it was designed by him.
Yeah.
With
and tested by him and stuff
and
like
tested.
that. Yeah.
But this is the only item that he didn't give a personal grade for.
Yeah.
This is up for anybody else to decide which grade it gets.
Because he can't give himself a grade for his own product, which he thinks is the perfect box out there.
For himself, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But anyways, we should dive into Legacy a little bit.
We should dive into a main topic after 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of Legacy Magic talk in between, so...
Yeah, that's true. And also, we had something to
talk about.
Cover that we couldn't talk in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
That's true. And by the way, shout outs to our two Patreons. Matt Dunking
and Christian Neut.
Thank you for supporting us. And yeah, next time we will remember at the start of the show to call you by your names.
But we haven't forget you.
We're always thinking about you.
So, what are your opinions on the Legacy meta, guys? It's
great.
Has it changed so much since Ragavan?
Yeah, 8 March joined Jessica Breaches now a deck.
Yeah.
Kind of similar besides this, but yeah.
So it's basically like the meme, so same, but different.
Same but different, yeah.
It's the office meme.
I mean,
corporate, do you see any difference? No.
Yeah, definitely. What happened is Blue-Red Delver is always on top of the food chain.
And I think many Magic players have expressed their concern that what they did announce in the Ragavan ban announcement, that they will have a closer look at Legacy, and after a few major events or something like this, they will re-evaluate if further adjustments need to be done.
They said they will look. They have
closely.
A closer look at the Legacy metagame in the following weeks after the announcement.
Yeah, I mean,
and
the following weeks is kind of
months in.
Yeah, so. I mean, the following weeks is like
from
52 weeks are also following weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, of course, Delver is still the best deck for sure. And
really,
yeah.
And here I gotta say, I have no problem with Delver being the best deck.
Me neither.
It's an interesting play pattern, actually.
Yeah, and I really like to play versus Delver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm not a Delver player myself, but I really like that Delver is one of the top dogs, or is a force to be that you have to
reckon with.
To reckon, yeah. So with this out of the way, even in my opinion, Blue-Red Delver is a little bit concerning with That's what we see here.
Yeah.
To our listeners, we are looking about the statistics from the data collection field.
From
it
Koki
was
MTG on Twitter.
Yeah. And we see the win rates, how it transpanded after the ban of Ragavan. And we have two fields there, like Modern Horizon 2 release to Ragavan ban and Ragavan ban to today. And we see that Delva mostly improved, except for a few things.
This is before the ban, and this is
So the upper brackets is now after the ban. And what's really, really surprising is that Delva is nowadays better against 4-color control, which I thought Ragavan was just the best thing that you can have.
No, I don't think so, because Ragavan can get more easily stopped by the removal spells. I mean, it is...
And if you flip removal spells from the 4-color control,
it does
nothing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it is... I mean, it's... Probably they did also have... I mean, you also have to keep in mind the whole meta game. Maybe 4-color control before the Ragavan ban could focus on Delva a little bit more.
Yeah,
this
nowadays you have to play something like against 8-cast because it's now a real deck. And
that's true,
could be. Then we have like 8-cast, our win percentage went up by 8%. Against 4-color control, it went up by 8%. Against Arndt, it got reduced by 20% because Ragavan was just a beating for Ant.
This was so problematic.
Yeah. Band control went down, which was expected.
I mean, it's kind of similar.
But not that much. Blue Zenith went up by 9%. Def and Texas went up a little bit. Yeah, because Ragavan was just a really, really bad card against Def and Texas.
That's true.
So expected. Doomsday went down a little bit. Expected.
I mean, I would say Def and Texas and Doomsday didn't change all that much. I mean,
not that much.
I wouldn't give all that big interpretation for 1 or 2 percentage points. This is basically the same.
Yeah, so Delves didn't change. Greenwood Depths didn't change. Chesca control went down a lot, which was also expected because Ragavan was just really, really good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, you have a lot more in Chesca control that you can hit, I think. I mean, you have to remove spells. But
you can play the NAS.
But you have expressive iteration, stuff like that, which is something that you can't hit on band control. Then we have lands, which didn't change. Oops went up a lot. Because do you play now a few more forces in a main deck? No, the beta are faster. Delve is just faster than...
Yeah, of course.
Painter didn't change. Reanimator went up a lot because Ragavan is just a worse card against them. Sneak and Show went down a lot because, you have to draw spells to draw into. And Blue Red Delver, the matchup is just as 50% as it should be.
So overall, to summarize, what is the matchups that actually got really worse? Only Ant.
The combo matchup.
Yeah.
Against Ant.
Which makes Ant a little bit more playable.
Doomsday and TS. Yeah.
I mean, Doomsday is kind of the same.
Isn't here, but it also went down a lot.
Maybe we can put it into Ant.
but the problem is still...
Maybe it is combined, yeah.
I mean, you have to put this into perspective because even if Ant is now better against Delver is still favored against Ant.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's one problem here.
But it's not the 75% win percentage, but a little bit closer than...
But the 65 is also...
But I think it needs to be addressed because the overall picture that we see here is that Delver remains unchanged. Overall,
it has in the top matchups 3 bad matchups, which are Band Control, Def and Texas, Greenwood Depths, and Lands.
Yeah. So Depths is basically the worst matchup.
You have basically the bad matchups are
Depths and Lands. And Lands.
Depths and Def and Texas, and one subsection of Control. Yeah.
But that's also what a lot of people, myself included, feared with the Ragavan ban, that it doesn't that it isn't enough, and that Delver could focus more on the non-blue matchups then, and even improves. Yeah.
I mean, but As I said, the consequences is not. I mean, it's a lot of factors that count into this. As we said, combo got a little bit better.
Yep.
And therefore, people also prepared a little bit better against combo. And this also reflects in the overall meta and in the matchups that Delver has against each individual deck.
Because there is one less piece that focuses on Delver, but focuses,
for example,
on Storm or whatever.
Exactly. And for this might be the reason why, for example, Delver is fine now, or almost 50-50 somewhere around against 4-color control. Maybe 4-color has to dedicate a little bit more.
Yeah, 4-color has the problem that you now have to deal with Kappa Cannoneer and stuff like that. So you need
and combo.
Your meltdowns. You have to use some Seeds of Innocence and stuff like that. You're playing maybe one force more in the main deck, and stuff like that makes Delver a better deck in the meta game.
Yeah,
as
that's
you
true.
already said. Yeah, so I kind of think it's just a little bit too good, but yeah.
I mean, there's still innovation. As we see from the last event, I don't know, was it a challenge? Where we see
the free Pyroblast main? You mean this one?
the Delverless lists.
The Delverless.
And Delver is also here to improve,
Yeah. I mean, improve, I would not really agree on, but basically what happened is they cut Delver for an event.
And Days.
A little bit Wasteland, a little bit Days, to have more Murktide, to have more...
The idea behind all this is that you have two conflicting game plans in Blue-Red Delver. You have the Delver style with play a threat, protect a threat, waste your opponent, daze your opponent, and go all the way.
Yeah.
And just put the resources into
protecting the Delver.
And burning your opponent down.
Yeah.
And then you have the more bigger side in casting a Ponder, then an DRC, then an expressive iteration, get the cards in the yard for a huge Murktide when the coast is clear. So you have two play styles that don't really combine with each other in Delver. And so the next logical step, according to Bullwinkle,
it's Bullwinkle. We have the docs also in the show notes afterwards.
Yeah, it's Delver's game plan juxtaposition, and it's a really great article that I can totally recommend. And what's happening here is that these Delver lists completely omit Delver and shave the days and shave the wastelands and put in Predict and Snapcaster Mage. So it basically makes
and Pyroblast main.
And two Pyroblast main and one Unholy Heat in the mirror. So this Delver deck, this Delverless Delver deck certainly preys on Delver.
Yeah,
it feels like.
Yeah, it's the same example. I think I talked about this on the podcast already. If you have two decks that go up against each other, the one that's a little bit slower will win the match, and you have a deck that is much faster from a general point of view. If a deck is much faster, it will win the game. If you are talking just about speed, for example, and this is like the deck that's a little bit slower than Delver, so it will win the mirror every time. But it depends how good it is against something like the combo decks, because you don't have the clock anymore, because you're losing out on the Delver there. I mean, you have yourself built in Delver with Dragon's Rage Channeler, so you kind of have some amounts of Delver.
Well, normal Delver also plays Dragon's Rage Channeler.
Yeah, that's true. But if you are thinking back about like 2 years ago, if we are just using the Delver instead of the Dragon's Rage Channeler, you still have your 3 damage threat on turn that you can lay up on turn 1. But yeah, it will be kind of interesting how things shake up with this configuration. It can be that the meta gets inbred with playing like 7 Pyroblast in the main league and stuff like that. It's an exaggeration, but
probably not 7, but I mean 2 Pyroblasts in the main and 2 in the side is for me a little bit of an alarming
if you look at this example deck list, prior, 2017 meta would greet you with the 2 Prize of Progress animate instead of the 2 Pyroblast, and it would look legit, yeah.
I mean, first of all, I don't know, did this win something major at the moment?
It went
already?
second in the last challenge after discovering the thoughts this week. Last week.
Yeah, so the tweet is basically from Saturday, and on Sunday it went second in the challenge.
Okay, so I personally think about this version, this is, in my opinion, looks more to me like a meta call. And the reason is, in my opinion, very simple. We have a lot of blue-red Delver, which has normal Delver and the fast game plan.
Yeah.
And they prey on faster decks, combo decks, quite hard.
Yeah.
And now, if you want to play Delver, you have to have a plan for the mirror, of course, because a lot of people want to play Delver. And then you can play this now. This is very smart, of course.
Yeah.
But if every Delver player would switch to this one, then I think we would have...
We need the next level.
No, I think then if you would go to an event like this, I could imagine that we have a top 8 full of combo.
Yeah, it could be. Because it's just too slow.
Yeah, this only works, this version, if there are other fast Delver decks preying on the combo decks.
Yeah.
Still.
It's just built for
and therefore, I don't think this is the best version. It's just now...
It's an evolving of the meta, yeah.
Yeah, it is just the next step that you right now can address the meta to evaluate. You take the strengths from Delver, which you focus more on Murktide.
Yeah.
Have more control, more grindy elements to prey on other Delver decks.
Yeah.
And I mean... Of course, it can win against combo. It's not to be mistaken here.
But it doesn't have.
It's not the best and not the efficient version against combo. So if everyone would switch to this version, I don't think that. I think they would divert it back to normal version very shortly after.
I think if everyone would play this version, then we would see the next level to go a little bit bigger again.
Then combo decks will go nuts, in my opinion.
Play swords in it. Probably go Jeskai with swords to address the Murktide problem.
I mean, you have the Pyroblast to address the Murktide problem.
You have Pyroblast, yeah.
That's true.
But the thing I think is that I don't have to drop my thoughts here, and I'm kind of dropping my thoughts here. I had something prepared as well. But yeah,
it looks nice for sure.
I think it's the same thing with when the Murktide Doomsday variants showed up. Mm-hmm. Because they were a meta call and nobody was prepared how to fight against it. Yeah, because you think it's the thing that you are playing against the whole time, but it's just different. Mm-hmm. Because if you play against this deck, like against Delver, and you just hardcore go in after the first Dragon Rage channel that they don't have the clock, and then you empty your hand because of the Murktide region, and your opponent goes just predict.
Yeah.
Snapcaster Mage predict. He has 7 cards back in his hand, in no time. You just lost the game. Yeah. Just because he has the 2 predict and the 2 Snapcaster Mage. Yeah. Yeah, because you are playing against a faster deck, because about prior knowledge, you're playing against a really, really fast deck. And because of this, you have a misperception of the deck and how to play against it. Mm-hmm. And this is the sweet spot here. Mm-hmm. If we look up to 2 weeks in the future, 3 weeks, like with Tempo Doomsday got annihilated because everyone now knows, he's playing Murktide Regent. I don't have to fear any Doomsday, because if he goes for Doomsday, I have the next turn to fuck him over.
Yeah, that's true.
And every deck configuration has strengths and weaknesses. And I think if you can prevent like Snapcaster Mage and Predict and Expressive Iteration to go for the 2-for-1s, you just win out, because the deck is just inherently slower than any Delver decks out there.
At the moment, at least, yeah.
At the moment, at least. Maybe we can see any other configuration.
That is true, and this list simply scoops to Leyline.
Yeah, when you really scoop, but it's very bad, yeah.
It scoops to a Leyline. You have only 1/1s and the Snapcaster.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have any removal for the Leyline.
Yeah.
And that shows that we have a different understanding of the meta and how to play against like Blue-Red Delver, because I mean, at least Phil and I don't know if you are two on the board, but at least we two think that Leyland is just a really, really, really good card against Delver.
So
you have to board it in because it stops so much of them.
I think this depends on your deck and what you can board.
If you removal and Leyland of the Void, go for it.
I mean,
because the only card that is really, really disrupting is normally the Brazen Borrow, which is played in the blue-red versions. So you have the 1 or 2 of Brazen Borrow to fear about, which this version doesn't play. And yeah, it sticks there, and it does everything.
It's easy to put in because you just change the 2 counterbalance to 2 Brazen Borrow and the sideboard, and then you have your outs.
Yeah, and something that I really dislike
them with the 4 Brainstorm, 4 Ponder, 4 Mishra's Bauble, 2 Predicted, 4 Expressive Iteration. You will find them, but maybe you get enough time. That's
you can build up your own board in the meantime.
Yeah, that was the same what I talked on Sunday with our Elves pilot Philipp Hinterreiter. And he basically said he doesn't he finds the Delver matchup so extremely difficult. He doesn't know what to board. And he boards in the ley lines and the removal. And I just told him, why are you putting in removal? I mean, it should be enough to bring in the ley lines. Yeah, you're diluting your deck too much, in my opinion.
Which deck? Elves. Okay,
You're diluting your deck too much when you bring in 4 ley lines and 3 abrupt decays. 7 cards. And
either you bring in the ley lines or the abrupt decays.
And I told him, with my experience playing against Delver, that I probably find it better to just put in ley lines and keep in the some parts of the natural order combo, because Delver simply can't beat progenitors.
It can't. Yeah.
Surely it's hard, but with a ley line you buy enough time.
Yeah, because the thing that you worry about is the Murktide. Yeah.
Murktide kills you in 2 swings, and with a resolved ley line, he needs to find the Brazen Borrow to bounce it, and then in this time you already killed him with elves.
Yeah, and you still have your Shepherd, which is also a really, really good card against Delver, which forces them to keep removal heavy hands. Yeah, which are typically not bad against elves,
but not great.
But not great.
Yeah.
I mean, and the festivities can also buy them quite a bit of time.
I mean, and the festivities is
just an insane card.
It's a really, really good card. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the counterbalance is a cool card that we see in the sideboard. But yeah, I think you have a few things that you have to worry about with the stack list. And let's see how things shake up. Maybe the meta adapts to it. I mean, for sure it will. It's just a little bit of a new style, but this is a deck that's really, really praying that your opponent doesn't board in the Leyland of the Void, which is currently a really, really good card in the meta, because online there's a lot of Reanimator.
Yeah. I mean, online for sure.
Our paper meta. you can't.
Our paper also, yeah.
We have a lot of Leyland for us in the meta, so I don't think that this configuration will be that good.
Practically 0 Delver.
But it's fine. Sometimes you can adjust your deck and have a sweet spot where you just accept to lose the card.
Yeah.
And still be the best choice that you possibly can do in a given meta game.
And maybe this version is just a better deck for the
online meta.
Yeah. For the online meta or for the pilot itself, because, for example, my painted deck is something that like no one else would play. But I like this playstyle a lot, and I try to explore it and play with it, and I have some knowledge with it, so I'm maybe better with this configuration, even though another version would be way better in the meta, because I don't have the skill set to play with it, or my skill set suits this version just better. And we have this with all the decks. Like, for example, I think we three can generally agree on that whichever Miracle deck or Band Control or Band X Control deck will run around in this played by Marc-Eric Vogt we can generally agree on that it's well built and a machine that you have to go up against, but I can say I'm not a good pilot on the deck.
Yeah.
I want something like a second and treat the angel or something like that because I need the button that I can finish the game. And he says, I need the Archmage's charm.
Yeah.
Maybe want to play a second one. and that's how you have the deck built to your own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
I think this is a really, really big point that you have to figure out.
Absolutely agree on this, yeah. This is also the nice thing about Legacy as a whole in the format, where you can actually do something like this. Because the card pool is so big and the meta games are locally, and compared to online and something like this, if you compare all the meta games, they are vastly different.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of there's a lot more respect towards, deck specialists or just nostalgia of players playing different decks and something like this. And this has a lot more life in Legacy than in any other format actually.
Yeah, that's
Magic.
true. It's just the history.
The history, combines it also really well.
Speaking of the history, today is a very special day, I think.
Wow, that's nice. That's transition.
Every transition was good today.
Yeah, baby.
This is just a random fact, actually. But I saw this on Twitter and I wanted to share this. Today, actually, on the 19th of April in New York, 1998.
24 years ago.
24 years ago, John Finkel won his first ever Pro Tour with, I don't know, it was a blue-black deck.
A blue-black control, I think.
I'm not sure if it was control deck.
But I think it's most of a control player.
I also think he's most of a
Could
control
it be
player.
something like a Force of Will deck with, there was an black enchantment or something like that, where you, with Necropotence and you gain life for each swamp and something like that? It could be. I think this was the time,
sure.
like,
I don't have
running
any
this
idea.
around. So, yeah.
Was this really the time of Combo Winter?
No, not combo. It was value. Because you just drained your
The
opponent for
Necropotence
6.
was Combo Winter.
No, this was not only combo, this was a control deck. Because you just had drain life. You had 2 different drain life spells. So you just drained your opponent for 6. And so you could draw 6 more cards and stuff like that.
Then you're just looking up the deck list.
So you just cycled through your deck with drain life.
No, it was limited actually. It was limited.
It was limited,
So it's a blue-black draft deck.
Draft deck.
But it was certainly nice, and it's a random trivia.
Yeah.
That's just great. Random MTG trivia.
It's really nice,
So, yeah. A random fact to round up the show, I think.
Okay.
Let's hope for many more years of great history of Magic.
Yeah, with the Pro Tour coming back nowadays.
With the Pro Tour coming back.
A small rant.
Oh yeah,
Why
bring it on, bitch.
Why the fuck does Europe together with Africa have 36 Pro Tour spots and the United States have 48 and Canada has 48? I mean, it just doesn't seem all right. There are 2 continents to 1, and it's like 100.
And 2 states.
I mean, it's not only one continent, it's just half of it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
doesn't
nobody
seem all
knows,
right.
but
A little
I'm
bit
just
right.
excited that we have Pro Tours back. So
I'm
that's
just excited and we go onto the Legacy circuit. Not playing Legacy there. But
But yeah, that's just dumb. But I mean, I heard that the organizers were called Legacy before, and they are also an established organizer. I never heard of them before, so
I never heard of them.
No, and also the Twitter account is very new, so I don't think this is it.
I mean, even if the event organizer, the TO, is called Legacy, it's good for them. It's a brand, apparently it's registered since 2004 or something like that. So before it was actually called Legacy because it was called 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
But if you have a tournament circuit, why the fuck do you name it after yourself Legacy and don't name it something not named Legacy? Because it's just conflicting in there.
Yeah,
it would be
just
like in America calling a new for the American, I just call it now soccer. It's now a new soccer league, and you call it there football because you like football, and you call it like the new football league, and everyone in America will think like we have in Massachusetts now a new football club. And they're playing soccer for them, which is just, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah,
both have a ball, but the one is like a cornetto or something like that. So
but yeah, it's a very nice comparison here. Yeah.
So
I can totally see this and totally feel it.
So kind of
nice closing thoughts from you here, Peter.
Small rant at the end.
Rant at the end. Oh, I like it.
So Peter's rant at the end.
So I have to now prepare 2 subsections every episode. Peter's rant and Peter's recommendations.
Yeah, but we could make the rant a little bit broad and bring in a rant from each of us. Rant at the end. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. It was this episode was very productive.
Yeah. We could make like YouTube Shorts or a TikTok account for it.
We have a TikTok account, but we only have one video on it. So,
but we could make like once a week. I mean, for TikTok, you have to kind of produce one thing every day or something like that, or better, multiple things every day.
We should, but we don't do this here. We don't do this here, no.
But maybe we close the episode for today.
Yeah, we're just trash talking here. If you like what we are doing, consider supporting the podcast either by buying merch on our new merchandise shop in-response.myspreadshop.de, or by consider joining our Patreon on patreon.com/response_legacy. But if you don't want to spend a dime and support us, then just follow us on Twitter. You can find the cast on Twitter @response_legacy. You can find me on Twitter. It's @FindekMTG, PHINDKMTG. Peter, where can we find you and support you?
You can find me on @unicornlord, but the O in the Lord is a 0 on Twitter. Apparently I stream nowadays, so you can find me on @unicornlord. The O again is a 0. MTG there. I streamed the last FNM there, if you want to look it up. We also have it now on our YouTube channel for the Austrian Legacy League. If you want to support us otherwise without spending a dime, you can talk to your friends how crazy, amazing this podcast is. Just spread the love of In Response. And yeah, where can we find you, Daniel?
Also on Twitter @FlyingDelver. And if you want to have a little bit of a look at more written content, you can also have a look at my website, which is greatness@anycost.com.
In Response. The end.
This was In Response, a Legacy podcast. If you enjoyed the ride, feel free to support the show by following, leaving a review, or subscribe on patreon.com/response_legacy.